Today, America Online is making it easy for people to live, work, and play.
When we installed internet access on our computer, I got the whole family involved.
Unused, play music.
Just what is this main artery of the information superhighway?
You beautiful bastards.
No matter how large, no matter how small, we'll be on the internet in the year 2000. It's the primary way that people will look up information.
Shut up!
When we were there.
Hello and welcome to When We Were There, Biased Internet History. My name is Thomas.
And I'm Josh, and this is a podcast all about the history of internet content, the who's who's, the what's, the where's Waldos. We're going to get into it all.
Whether you like it or not.
But you know what? Thomas, I think they're going to like this episode.
I think they're going to love this episode. I know I do.
Thomas
already.
is creaming his jeans right now.
I'm freaking the fuck out. We got a very special guest today. These are a couple guys out of a comedy troupe called FND Films. Been making stuff online since, I don't know, years and years and years ago. 2006, 7? You guys been on the site for a long time. I've been watching them over half my life, so this is a big thing for me.
Thomas,
and I want them to feel uncomfortable with how obsessed I am. And I think we're already there.
I'm sure they do. Do you guys?
Yeah, I have a knot in my stomach. I don't feel good right now.
You know what? I was sold at cream in the jeans.
Yeah, that's one of our patented lines.
I love that line.
It's Thomas does cream his jeans a lot. That is the thing. He's ruined many a pants.
Is it
I don't buy jeans anymore.
Is it a clam chowder?
Oh,
what kind of cream?
Yeah, definitely.
It's like a potato leak soup. It's very chunky.
Ooh, thick with some bits in there. That reminds me of the movie Cable Guy. When Jim Carrey says, "This is the deluxe sound system that would make George Lucas cream in his pants."
For some reason, I thought you were going to be like the scene where Jim Carrey like creams a potato out of his dick. Because I have this thing, a very weird selective memory where like I think more graphic things happen in movies. Like in that movie Bridge to Terabithia where the girl like dies swinging over a creek. I thought there was a scene where her head cracks.
I haven't seen that movie. What? You just ruined it for me.
Oh, shit.
But it doesn't. But it doesn't crack.
Same as like in My Girl, I thought there's a scene where Macaulay Culkin gets like attacked by bees and dies, but all this stuff happens off camera.
The thing about that too is what you conflated the scene in Spider-Man 3 when James Franco hits the like tightrope and like just like bangs his head 6 times.
Spider-Man 3, I only remember Topher. Was it Topher Grace? Just not Topher Grace. Who's the other one?
It was Topher Grace.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Who goes full emo though? It's
Tobey Maguire.
Tobey Maguire. Yeah. When the only thing I remember is his hair swinging over itself over and over again.
It's hot.
Yeah,
it is. It is hot and a musical sort of.
Yeah, but we're rambling. Who are you guys? For anyone that doesn't know.
We're F&D Films, or two of us. One of our partners, Aaron,
is he dead?
Hates you guys.
Oh,
and
okay.
Also hates us. And we said, hey, do you want to come on and talk to these great guys? And he said, fuck you. I'd rather be doing anything else. But anyway,
I think he has a family, right? So he's got people to protect.
Yeah, last I spoke with him, there were 4 grizzly bears in his front yard, so he's literally protecting his family right now.
He didn't move to an opportune place, let's just say.
He's just constantly on guard defending his kids.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But we're F&D is a comedy troupe where we've been making comedy sketches on YouTube for apparently 2006 or 7. Vin and Aaron
something
have
like
more.
that.
Yeah, something like that. But other than that, we've made a feature. We're constantly writing with each other to make another one of those, and it's just been making a bunch of goofs for as long as we can recall.
Trying to pack in as many goofs before we die.
Before you kick that bucket.
And are you guys going to die in your own volition or like natural causes, do you think?
I would like to die when I say I want to die, but how do you plan for that?
You can just suicide pact it.
Yeah. Well, okay. What you do is you carry around a cyanide pill on you at all times, and that way, if like you ever get in a compromising situation where you're gonna die, you take the pill, and it's still your choice.
You're right.
That's true. And then you yell, "Hail Hydra!" and then you kick the cap off your tooth. and you bite it
Oh,
down.
see, one of those. Okay,
Yeah.
that's pretty chill.
Yeah.
So you're assuming you're going to be taken out of a submarine.
I'm always assuming that.
That's awesome. Okay, that's chill, guys.
Coop's also assuming that I'm in a white supremacist group.
I thought that was fact. I read that on your Wikipedia page.
Wait, no. Hail Hydra was.
Well, they were kind of with the Nazis.
Hello, it's Marvel. It's Captain America.
Oh, no. You know what I was thinking? I was thinking of what was the one What was Watchmen?
The Proud Boys.
Oh yeah, those guys were just.
That was a graphic novel.
No,
I
but
think.
Zack Schneider.
No, but they had the group with like the Cyclops or something.
Oh, the TV show.
with the,
The
with the eye. They did the eye thing.
like the 33rd Cavalry or something.
Something like that. That's what I thought it was. They showed like this. I don't know, whatever. Or they did this.
I was
going to
say what you were doing. Vinny put
the Cyclops. The Cyclops.
outside of his palm of his hand on top of his forehead and made it look like he was the villain from Pan's Labyrinth in the gluttonous basement.
Yeah, this is not a visual medium.
I got to remember that.
Isn't it? Is it like this? This feels.
No, it is. It is this. He's got an eyeball on each hand. Everyone listening is loving this part. But you know what?
I love it when a podcast just
derails.
Just says like talks about what they're doing like physically, and you can't see it. I always love.
Anyways,
that.
you can see on my shirt with no context. But how long have you guys been on the internet? Was YouTube the first thing that you kind of did as far as sketch comedy? Were you doing anything on MySpace, Newgrounds?
The first thing we ever posted was on Newgrounds. I remember it was. Yeah, that was like the only, because that was the site we were on all the time. And so, yeah, that was like the first couple FND films we put there. And I remember people would leave comments like, this isn't Flash, because it was all cartoons, but we were uploading our films as Flash files. So people were like, this isn't Flash, you shouldn't be posting here.
This ain't Flash.
They were pissed at you.
So we, soon after that, we just figured like, oh, we should just get our own website. And so we had FND Films, and we were posting there and just like sending people videos over Instant Messenger, just like sending them to our friends, and like, is this funny? And then YouTube came around, and I remember YouTube was around like for maybe a year, maybe just a couple months before like we decided to post there, and that was like way back in the day when YouTube had a homepage and everyone, you didn't have like a customized feed. And a couple of our videos got featured on the homepage a few times. Like I think maybe like 2 or 3 times we got featured, which really helped boost the numbers. And yeah.
Well, yeah, one of your first big ones would have been, like, was it Magic Mentos or Annoying?
Well, Annoying is definitely the most popular by far. It wasn't the first to like. I'm actually blanking on, because I do remember like one of the videos getting featured, but like, yeah, Annoying definitely helped. And I don't remember when YouTube changed. Like, it's kind of all just it just blends.
2010.
Is that when they started doing that? Or
You've changed, man.
Was that a guess?
Well, that's when I remember feeling like it was starting to change. It was like 2010, 11. For me, when I think of the golden age of YouTube, that's like 2008. That's when like 2007, 2008, when all like sketch comedy reigned king, and like there was a very homegrown feel, but also like there's all these big YouTubers, and they had this like whatever.
It felt like a community. Yeah, you could customize your YouTube page to look more like a website, whereas now it just looks like a Facebook profile.
Looks like nothing. It looks like garbage.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? I kind of forgot that you could do that.
Put like a custom background, and people would like make things that you could like use.
What were the things? I mean, what were the big things that changed from like around 2010, where you were like, "F this"?
So what? There is like an actual like, what's the word? Like a real.
I feel like there's a YouTube video you could watch.
There's
about
loads,
this.
I'm sure.
No,
but
one of the big ones is the algorithm.
Yeah.
And it stopped favoring like 2-minute content, like sketches or animation. And it was like, okay, anything more than 10 minutes, it's starting to be based on watch time rather than just view count.
Specifically what it was ad revenue stopped being judged based off, view count and more minutes watched. So that gave way to, that's why Let's Plays took over YouTube. It's because they're low effort for high volume.
Yeah, a lot of frequency.
And it killed animation. And high frequency. So like uploading regularly multiple times a week, large like big videos. So that really
more potential for adverts and all that.
Exactly
fun stuff,
right.
yeah.
And so that really made a big change on the platform. And then I think also just a natural progression of it becoming more mainstream and a diversification of it. So it felt like there used to feel like more of like a cultural identity on YouTube, you know? And then that sort of, I think just, and that's not even necessarily bad. You can still find like pockets on YouTube that have this like energy of what I really liked. So it's not even necessarily bad. It's just that it's not the only thing that's there. Now there isn't really like a homogenous culture.
And I think when that happened as far as watch time, and especially even later with Adpocalypse, all of a sudden people had to start finding advertisers outside of just Google AdSense, and then it had to come to more volume of videos. Okay, we have to upload every day rather than, okay, I'm going to spend maybe anywhere from a month to a week just working on a video that I'm really passionate about, that I want to put everything into. And I think Casey Neistat, maybe Charles Trippier are some of the only people who've successfully done daily uploads that are very good quality. But I think especially looking at it today with not just like Let's Players, but like the Jake Pauls of the world is, it's just a lot of noises and flashing lights to keep someone's entertainment. Whereas I think what Tom was just saying as well, with you guys, you know, someone like your channel, you're excited, okay, there's going to be a video, maybe not every day, but it's going to be something I look forward to, which was what the culture of YouTube was.
Yeah.
That isn't really what it is now.
No,
to be fair, I also got to say, sorry to cut you off, but there's just the fact that like 2008, I would have been like 12 years old. So there's just childhood nostalgia, and a lot of this content is still, it's aimed for children, you know? So there's just a matter of growing out of it. Like around, like I started, as I became a teenager, like 14 years old, I started smoking weed. I wanted to like be cool. Wrote graffiti and stuff, and I was like, YouTube's lame. So
Yeah. Is that what you'd write on your graffiti? YouTube's lame?
Yeah, it was sick, dude. I got a lot of props.
I never even attempted to be cool. I just kept watching YouTube and masturbating.
Which, when it comes down to it, is as cool as you can be.
Yeah. I think alone in your bedroom, switching between YouTube and YouPorn, there's nothing cooler than that.
Right.
That's our after school special.
That's a life.
And sometimes
fully
you just
realized.
type in, you type in you, and you don't know which it's going to autofill, porn or
But whatever it does, that's what you're going to first.
That's where you're going, baby. And you just ride it out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sometimes it kind of blurs the lines with the hot for words or whatever it might be, and you just go for it anyway. But either way, you're either busting your sides or busting your nut.
But yeah, I guess, how would you guys, do you guys feel, did you notice the shift at all on YouTube? Were you like active enough on the platform, like as consumers to feel any change?
I always felt like I was behind in recognizing it. I guess it's one of those things where if you're in it, you don't see the change. And also, I guess it, like, admittedly, I'm not even though we were creating for YouTube, I feel like I watch YouTube more so now for like entertainment value and like to fill my time than I did before. Like I would never really, like if you asked me who my favorite YouTubers were, I would kind of struggle to answer that. So I also like feel like I feel like bad for not knowing like some of the more intricacies of how it works and how it changes, because I guess we always took breaks and we weren't on it. We weren't using it like people use it today, where today people are like, oh yeah, I'm a YouTuber, that's my job. And for us, we're like, well, we want to be filmmakers. YouTube is a great platform, but when YouTube became like, you know, when you had to sort of play the game and like,
Yeah.
you know, play to the algorithm, I think we kind of weren't using it enough to have evolved and grown with it. So yeah, like, I forget what the original question was. Oh, having noticed it, like, no, I didn't really notice a change, you know, like, I can say, like, oh, yeah, I remember when, like, prank videos were the thing, you know, I had, like, that, you know, I can kind of break it down into, like, eras in that way, but, yeah, the change is...
But also to that, Vin, it's like, there were those trends that would evolve, and like if prank videos were huge or whatever it may be, or just vlogging in general, which I guess we did do some of that. But when trends would really emerge, we never really had to sit down and we're like, we need to make those types of videos. I mean, that we just didn't really move along with what was hot on YouTube. We kind of just wrote stuff that we thought was funny and we're just hoping everyone else will. And
well, I think that's a good thing, though. I think that's kind of where you want to be is, I'm not just doing this because I think it'll get clicks, as far as integrity is concerned, at least.
I low-key had an attitude about it. I was like, that's lame. You know, when you kind of notice people are hopping onto a trend and you're doing your own thing, kind of like, I had a little bit of my own blood attitude about it, but like, you know, I think it's also allowed us to, you know, stay true to who we are and allowed us to keep making the things we want to make.
Yeah, I have that
also,
in my notes here. Lack of schedule might have stopped you from maintaining success on the site, but it also might have kept you pure, in quotes.
You can't tell people about the notes, Thomas. Or they'll know that we planned this and we're not just organic.
No, I like it.
We're not just off the cuff. But that is a question that I want to, like, so do you guys feel, I guess you must, but that like not actively participating in the platform allowed you guys to like, stay on your own sort of wave. And also, like I said, like it kept you guys in this pocket of like, it's still, I could go to your channel and see a new video and it still felt like a sketch that might have been uploaded, in 2008, just with better production quality.
Yeah, I guess like, I think to add to that, we never really like collabed with people. Like the one collab we did we did a collab with Smosh for the animated sketches we did, the Protectors of Tomorrow.
Now you're reading our notes.
That's in there too.
That's the next question. So thanks for being ahead of it.
Yeah. We just, the thought of collabing always kind of like, I never really wanted to do it because, I'm just speaking for me. I don't know. I just kind of like, we're in our own little insular pocket. We're just writing stuff we want to write. And the thought of collaborating, I always kind of knew it was like, well, let's like cross-pollinate. Let's like get viewers to each other. And like to have to like potentially like suffer through not liking the other person's idea or like having to like put up with something you don't want to do is just not, it was never appetizing enough to want to do it. And the collaboration with Smosh, I mean, that came out of like, those were guys we respected, they were like, doing their thing. They were very popular. Like, they were doing what we were doing. And, we did genuinely think it would be cool to like collaborate with them. But there, around that time, like there really weren't many others that we were doing. And
so,
go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, so what's interesting, like that collaboration to me is very crazy because Smosh, they're like the reason why I started making YouTube videos, ultimately probably a big reason for why I got into like media and entertainment is Smosh. So to have, when you guys had the collab with them, it was like crazy to me because I don't know if I don't know if you guys know this, but I think that's the only collaboration they ever did that was off of their channel. They had people come onto their channel, but I don't think honestly, I think that's the only video they have ever done together, not on their channel.
I didn't know that.
I could be wrong, but I've never seen something like that.
Yeah, and don't correct us if we are wrong, by the way. Not you guys, the audience.
Well, honestly, we're taking your word
no
for
one,
it.
No one correct us. I don't want any comments about it or anything.
Even for grammar or anything, we shouldn't.
Especially not grammar.
Well, that's something that we got to think is, that's a look at what the Smosh universe has turned into. Not to say anything we could have created could be anything close to that, but they played the game and, we're cool with it. And really we're just smart about being in the moment and saying, hey, we see where this is headed. We're just going to keep being as consistent as possible. We're going to collaborate. We're going to expand our network, yada, yada. And I think for whatever reasons, we, in the moment when we were making videos, I don't know if it was a thing where we were conscious of it and just being like, we just don't feel like doing that. But overall, I think if we wanted to turn our YouTube channel into anything remotely Smosh-like, or just a universe expanded in general, I never had a taste for that. I think we just didn't. We just wanted to, I don't know, make some YouTube videos here and there, and then get some production work outside of YouTube, and just thought we could just kind of do both, and never really 1,000% committed to one or the other.
But I think there's something beautiful about that. Like even Smosh, though they did play the game very successfully, I think they lost a lot of what they started with. You know, it became a business, it became a brand, it became something where they were having to hop on trends, and even Ian and Anthony themselves.
They're not even together anymore.
Yeah.
Anthony doesn't make videos with them anymore. He left, and there's honestly a very sad video where he talks about like
I saw that one.
this thing that was like, it was like his in joke with his friends Smosh, that now is a brand, and like the loss of creative control. So in some ways I could say that not that it's competition, but you guys kind of came out on top. And it's funny because in an alternate universe, it easily could have been flipped. Even though they were always more popular than you, I think if they were to have had a sporadic upload schedule and you guys stayed consistent, who
and
knows?
collaborated with a bunch of people, which I think collaborating as well was something that started happening later in YouTube that led to sort of stuff like the station or creator houses. And one of the things I think it did that isn't great is it kind of made LA a hub, much like Hollywood was. You know, before I think you could be anywhere in the world and be a YouTuber that could find a following. And now it's kind of like if you don't live in LA, you're doing something wrong.
I guess like
especially with the studio and everything. You can go to YouTube studios and use their space and
exactly.
And the influencer culture in general. There has to be a blue sky and a palm tree behind you.
Yeah.
For mostly anything, which you could throw on green anyway.
I will slightly disagree with you, Josh.
Thank you.
Because I think that I mostly agree with you, but like there are anomalies where it's like there are people who don't live in LA that like.
Oh, of course. I just mean more the majority.
Yeah.
And I think it's more like a mentality where it's like, oh, I want to be a creator. I want to be an influencer. I have to go down there to collab, to get clout, to gain a following.
I think we moved out here kind of for that reason. I mean, we had slightly different reasons. I mean, Cooper grew up in Chicago, and so when he and his now wife moved out here, they just wanted to experience a different town, a different place, and also
sunlight.
it's the opportunity and sunlight, and a lot of our friend group had moved out here, so it's just kind of like it was that exact ethos where it's like that's where all the opportunity is. Even though like I kind of always had this gut feeling that like because YouTube exists, it's like you could be anywhere and do it, but there is like that kind of illusion or reality that like there's lots of resources in Los Angeles and people you want to collaborate with.
Yeah, well, and what I was gonna say is, you could even look at someone like Gus Johnson, who is like now probably the face of the current form of sketch comedy on YouTube. He's from somewhere, one of the middle America states. I think
it doesn't matter. It's all the same. It's all Nebraska to us and Canada here.
He's from some hick town or whatever. But no, but. I don't know the guy's reasoning. Obviously, I've never met the dude or anything, but he moved to LA from wherever he was from, and now makes videos with like other people and whatnot. So it seems like that idea is still has taken root.
I want it to die. I don't want.
Okay.
I want people to feel.
Are you okay?
No. I want that idea to die. That you have to come out. Here.
Oh, you cut out a little bit. It was, I want it to die.
If this helps, I think the last 4 years have at least made us not want to go to the States. No offense.
No.
That's okay.
Fair point.
The last 4 years specifically?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of stuff, a lot of the, military coup that brought half of my family here anyway. A lot of different stuff the States have done, but particularly the last 4 years.
Yeah, we're not looking so hot in the world view.
You know what's hilarious is
you guys got Grandpa Joe though, so you're doing maybe better.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
Yeah.
But what's funny is how during Trump's presidency, people are like saying how they're going to move to Canada, like as if it's that easy to do.
Yeah, we don't want you assholes here.
Yeah. You actually have to bring something of value to move here.
You wear shoes on inside your houses.
Hey, I'm starting to do a house shoe thing now.
Why though?
I just
why
have
the
slippers.
Shoe? But why the shoe?
Come on, because it's just, I like it on my feet. Well, I don't wear it all around, but if I have my little slips on, I can go just take the trash out and then walk around a little bit in the house. But you're right; it's a shoe off policy goes a long way.
It saves you on vacuums. vacuum
It's
bills.
just weird. No one in Canada wears shoes
All right, okay.
inside,
But what
and
about this? You lace your shoes up, right? And it's cold out, so you like laced them up real good. You leave the
Yeah.
house, and you're like, oh shit, I gotta grab the apple I was gonna eat. You take.
Yeah, well, you can leave the shoes on to get the apple.
Okay, so you wear your shoes in the house.
Well, that's totally different.
No, you gotta be a purist.
If I'm gonna sit on my couch, I don't have to be a purist. Don't put that on me.
Yeah, you do.
If I'm gonna go sit on my couch or go to my bedroom, I'm not gonna and hang out. I'm not gonna wear my shoes. That's crazy.
Agreed. I'm with you on that.
I'm
And that's
a
mostly-
shift away from the goddamn shoes. This happens every time we talk to an American guest. Somehow goes back to shoes.
This is the first time.
No, we did
don't
with
know.
Buck on the pre-interview.
Oh, that's true. 'Cause he was wearing shoes.
Americans, we love our shoes, man.
That's us, dude.
Jordan Nike 273s
If you can take anything away from this podcast, I think that's probably
is Canadians. We don't wear shoes inside because
yeah.
we're polite. But on a side note, you guys, I think another early thing that Thomas made me aware of is that you guys got on Tosh.0.
Oh, right, we did.
Drifting out of YouTube success to getting on TV. What is that like? And does that sort of bring you a bit of a wider audience?
I think it totally did. Especially, I mean, that video.
It was
for the
celery,
time.
correct?
What's that?
It was celery, correct?
Celery, yeah. It was which for if people don't know, it's just a skit about three guys at wing night at a bar, and one of the guys orders celery, and the other two dudes make fun of him because that's an effeminate thing to order. And at the time, which, said celery's gay, haha. And then the two guys who are saying how lame celery is start making out in the bar.
Very
just to
passionately. It was very beautiful.
But just to show him how effeminate he's being, we'll be like, you're being like this, man, and then we make out, and we really get him, by locking tongues.
Got him.
Got him. So from that, I think it was like two things. It was, I remember I think I was hitting you. I was like, yo, we should post this to Tosh.0, and then we also had a manager friend of ours who was like, oh, I know somebody that works at Tosh.0 or something. So we hit it from like two angles, I guess. And sure enough, he picked it for like I don't know if it was the season finale or the second to last episode or something. But that was pretty fun for just seeing it. We had a little watch party and everything. And that was pretty cool. But another fun thing is, other people, like, we were kind of promoting it, like, hey, watch Tosh.0 tonight, like, you're gonna see us, we have a sketch on there. And I had a bunch of friends from my high school who had no idea what it was gonna be, but they were like, in college, and they had like all their frat bros, and they were like, yo, we gotta watch, like, my boy's on TV tonight. And
I forgot about
and then
this.
the thing plays, and it's just Vin and I making out, like, passionately
for like a minute.
Yeah. So I had a lot of friends that were like, dude, I did not know that's what it was going to be. Like, everyone was freaking out. They were like, what is this shit? And I was like, well, this video is like about you. If that's truly how you feel. So all good.
Didn't you have some guy actually approach you at a party and he was like, I don't know about that, man?
Oh, yeah. So one of my friends played it I was just at a house party or something. And my friend, was like, we gotta put it on, dude.
Wait, you just put it on the big screen in front of everyone?
Yeah, I was like, do we have to put it on? He's like, yeah. And then he like got everyone in the living room and played the video. And I don't know like 90% of the people there. So this is the first impression. But either way, most people were like, hey, that was really funny, blah, blah, blah. But one
Did you
guy...
get any play that night because of it?
I was dating my now wife, so
yes.
We were dating when this happened too.
In a
so
big way.
She was cool with it. But one guy, people were like, "Hey, real funny," and one guy, like, I put my hand out because we were just meeting people, and he was like, "Nah, man, I don't know about that. I just don't know about that." And I was like, are you gonna, I'm not gay, but if I was, are you gonna catch it from my handshake? And he was like, I just don't know, man. It's like, okay. So, but anyway, again, this is about you essentially.
But I think from watching that video, and then also the one where the dude falls asleep and you guys get him completely dressed and into bed and bedtime story, kiss on the cheek.
I love that one.
And also the Takeout Boys. I think it's fair to say, and I think me and Thomas share this philosophy, is frat culture is so weird and hilarious. It's like this weird mixture of like homoeroticism and homophobia and just trying to be tough.
Yeah. I think that for all of that, I think we share a theme in a lot of just Aaron, Vin, and I in our thinking of just writing sketches. We can very easily go to bullies and douchebags who think they're fucking, tough dudes, and then just totally either emasculating them or showing how just fucking stupid they are. A lot of our content goes in that direction. I think
it's because we all grew up with mostly. Coop, you grew up with sisters, but like your core circle of friends and me and Aaron's circle of friends are all guys. I think like you just kind of grew up around that energy and like probably absorbed and developed some sort of what you'd consider toxic masculinity, but like we're just not those people, so it's like easy to like notice those traits in ourselves and then like make fun of it because it's like you have to because it's like stupid. So I think it's where that comes from.
Yeah.
It was so easy to do that because we went to for college we were at an art school in Chicago, and so frats were just so frowned upon and just didn't exist where we went to school. So I would visit friends at Big Ten schools like University of Illinois and Indiana and Wisconsin, all that stuff, and where frat culture is just everything and just all around. So it's almost like being in a fishbowl where you're just looking, or at the zoo or something, and just seeing like this is so different from my experience that you just have to laugh at a lot of this but to them they're like, this is my every fucking day. Like when you get a call to like at 3 a.m. to come to the frat house and take 12 shots and then eat a spoonful of mayonnaise, like you fucking do it, and then you go to class the next day. And I'm like, I don't get it.
It's so absurd.
There's just something so hilarious about it. It's like, okay, anyway, for initiation, you guys gotta all get naked, grab each other's dicks, and walk in a circle.
Elephant walk.
But don't make it gay, bro. Like it's such a weird thing. And I think in a somewhat similar experience, me and Thomas, where we grew up in Vancouver, there was definitely a lot of that like smoke weed stoner culture, which in itself bred its own toxic masculinity. And then we went to art school, and talking to any friend outside that, it's like, yeah, we played spin the bottle, and this cool dude we're hanging out with now I made out with. It's like, wait, what? Dude? You exactly. Gay now? Like because I think there's just it is a weird thing transitioning from that to art school and then hanging out with friends that you used to who like won't even hug you.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. Is like I have a lot of, or even just recently I was talking to Josh on the phone, and we always say like I love you to each other. And so like I was ending the call and I was like, okay, I love you, man, bye. And then my friend from high school who I was hanging out with like looked over at me with like this like almost disgusted look on his face, and I was like, what, like you don't tell your friends I love you? And he's like, no. And I was like, that sucks. It sounds like you have a bad life. Like
yeah, or just don't know at all how to like compute that affection you have for your friend.
Yeah.
So by saying instead of I love you, it's just a fist bump and like I'll like catch you later.
Or that like awkward bro hug where you like grab their hand and like kind of like pull them in, but your arms
do
like,
two pats on the back.
Other.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
tit to tit. Yeah.
No, you grab your friend like a baby, kiss them on the cheek, and say I love you. That's how you know it's a real friendship.
But there's something too about that culture where even within the fraternity culture where everyone's doing something where they're saying like don't make this fucking gay, dude, but everybody's naked or whatever. Like there's almost an accountability of everybody, because everybody's like, look, you were there too. Like nobody's gonna make this weird because like we're all doing this and no one's gonna say anything because we're all in this together. If I go down, you go down. It's almost kind of get that too in a weird sense.
It's like their own type of suicide pact.
That's right.
I never thought of it that way, but it is like it's like a primal reach for that type of like, I don't know, like vulnerability or like connection with another human that you want. Also, because you're in a frat, it's like, I've paid a lot of money for these friends. Like, we better get close. Like, we better connect.
True.
And so,
Yeah, it's weird that you have to pay for it. Jesus.
It's like a brute force way of having a community.
Yeah, exactly. And so, you go to these extreme measures to bond, and like, of course there's going to be some stuff in there that like you think is like, oh, this is gay, but we're all doing it. So, yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, you pay for your Lord of the Flies experience. Like in the
Nice.
frat house basement.
I think it's especially weird seeing that frat culture growing up in Vancouver because, our school, we went to film school, also there wasn't a frat. But the University of British Columbia, the big school there, a lot of international students came there, and there was like a very big Greek culture. But Vancouver itself as a city is a very, left-leaning. We have a huge like pride, a big queer community. So it is weird meeting all these people that are very like, dude, that's pretty gay. Like, it's like, it almost in itself is kind of like, really, dude?
Yeah. Or even now to hear, I mean, that still happens in some, like, I would think most of our friends are, like in 8th grade, everyone said everything's gay. And it almost
and we
didn't
did
have
here too.
Yeah,
It's not
it
like
had
that.
no meaning really whatsoever except for that's dumb. It's just like, that's the word. But now it's almost like, if you hear that from anyone, you're like, dude, you are in the fucking Stone Age right now. Cause
Yeah, it's so my young cousins that are like 10 are now talking about pronouns and stuff. They're so much more woke than we were.
Yeah.
Right. I know, right?
And that actually is something that we could talk about, I guess. Is like
I think
on
that's
old,
something
on,
that does
well,
kill comedy a little bit.
well-
Unfortunately, not to offend, but
to a degree. I mean, I think it's, in one hand, it's good because if the joke is just the word gay, like that's not actually a joke,
that's not
right? So I think you can. People always say that like you couldn't make a joke like that today, but I think if you truly are making a good joke, where the humor is actually like well constructed, you can still do pretty much whatever you want. It's just, I mean, obviously some people are going to be vocal about it, not liking it, but you're going to get that, I think, regardless.
well, even celery holds up as commentary on that.
Yeah. Though I wonder, like, so you guys, there's also Gay Zombie. How do you guys feel about that video? Because I know it's still up in public.
Yeah, I feel okay about it because there's a line we wrote in there that explicitly says like there's a news reporter, and I guess I should explain for anyone who doesn't know what gay zombie is. It's like there is all of a sudden like a virus outbreak, but it's turning everyone gay, and so we felt that people who are homophobic view it like an infection, like. And there's like a news reporter who says like we're not sure if it's a biological attack or if the zombies are doing it by choice, which is like are you born you born with it or are you choosing to do it? It's like, well, you're born with it, and so I think that or maybe it's Maybelline.
Most of the time, it is Maybelline. That's the thing no one talks about.
So I'm okay with Gay Zombie still being up because I think we made it with the intention of criticizing that viewpoint, and I think it still expresses that. So it can stay.
It's
Fair
kind of
enough.
interesting too when you go back. Those are just kind of moments solidified in time of what culture was when
That's
the
what I was
video
gonna say.
was released, and it's just really interesting where people could go back at a video and compare it to our culture now and say, oh, something might be insensitive, but if you look at the bigger picture, it's just really interesting that all these videos are just kind of time capsules that are just kind of hanging out there that you could really psychologically almost look at culture from as far back as YouTube was on.
I think it's stuff that and if you find stuff that's like tasteless, I think it's important to have it because you have to know. It's just you need the reference point. I just think it's not. It doesn't do you any favors to like erase history or to try to pretend something didn't happen because it's offensive. And I get that like as a straight white dude, for me like I can't say that someone being offended is like nothing, but I guess in theory on paper it's like I feel like those things should be there so we know like you're not doing yourself a favor by erasing history. And again,
you can't see how far
I understand
we've come as a society.
Right, yeah. And I get that my perspective might is what it is because of who I am, but that's how I feel.
Oh,
about
so
it.
you want the Confederate flag raised above the White House is what you're saying?
No,
Exactly
put it in a
right.
museum.
There
Put
we
the Confederate flag in a museum so we can look at it and go, okay, that's what that was back then.
Yeah,
It's like the racist Looney Tune cartoons. Like it's
right.
the fact that those are still able to be viewed is important.
Yeah, Bugs Bunny killed a bunch of Japanese people and called them a myriad of slurs.
Yeah,
Right.
and that's important.
But you know what? You go 100 years back and people were fucking burning women at the stake because they learned math, like...
Yeah, but I mean, it's a thing, like you're saying, it's there because it need not repeat itself, but you don't put it on page 1 or like you don't promote it as like HBO Max, the thing you gotta watch. It's,
Yeah.
You gotta watch Bugs Bunny. No, it's...
Oh my god.
That's what the title is called.
I was actually wondering. I was
Oh,
like, did you
boy.
come up with that one on your own?
I have a serious
That
question.
was a quick draw.
Well, here before we get away from this, I did just want to say, in regard to YouTube, it's interesting specifically with like the word gay. There was a huge culture of making gay jokes on YouTube at that time. At the time when like Gay Zombie came out, I think.
Well, we're guilty of
Honestly,
that too.
you
We
could-
have. Sorry to cut you off, but I mean, we have a sketch. Well, we made a sketch that I don't think it was released on. We did release it on the internet, or it's on a DVD. But the end joke is like it's me and Aaron are like wrestling on top of each other, and it's like, we're like, oh, that's gay. Like we're
Yeah.
guilty of it too.
Totally. Well, and I have there's a video I made with my friend where it's called, I mean, I guess it's kind of a commentary, you could say. We didn't even really think of it being one, but my mom showed it to her. My mom showed it to her work friends, and then they were all like, "Wow, that's so brave of them to like have this commentary." It's called Angus Gets a Nose Job, and in it, my friend comes like home from getting a nose job, and for it, we just put a bunch of like sellotape all over his face, and it like looks really weird. And I fall in love with him, and I want to like, because he's so beautiful, and I want to like service him and do all this stuff. And really, like, a lot of the jokes are just that like it has a gay energy to it. Like, I don't know, I guess like the joke is that beauty is like a weird thing that we have in society and its value, I guess, but we didn't think of it like that.
Beauty is in the eye of the beer holder, my friend.
The beer.
Whoa, that was cool.
I think I have that on a plaque somewhere. I think that's a bumper sticker.
Oh, it
I
sure
like
is.
that.
I
should
gotta
put that over my bed.
I have to ask a serious question. And this is something we ask all of our guests. But have you guys ever achieved or completed a hands-free ejac?
No.
Wait. Yes, but
Well, hold on. I guess.
wait.
Well,
Yes.
if you have sex, then yeah, because you're not using your hands.
No, you yourself, whether it be Kegel squeezing, mental connection, whatever it is, no tools,
Solo
no apparatus.
hands-free ejac.
I've had more of like a wake up from a fever dream kind of thing.
Covered in spunk.
Right, or that you wake up and then there it goes. Cream the sheets, if we will, with the potato leek soup.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. But never have I ever, put your fingers up, been like sitting there mentally being like, I'm going to achieve like full on ejaculation, and then like put my powers towards that. It's just kind of happened in a dream.
In a fever state.
That's right.
Okay.
Also, no. I've
me,
never done it.
Me neither. I was just asking as a goof.
Really, Josh, how many times have you spooged during this podcast?
Well, only once during the podcast, but
I think I've got him beat.
that was with my hands.
Someone's gonna have to come and pry you off that seat.
No, what happened was once I was just sitting there, it had been like a week, and I was like, I wonder if I can just mentally squeeze one out. And I did, and I haven't achieved it since.
No
I was
way.
19 at the time.
Yeah. All right.
You know what I find very funny though is every time you ask this question, you're inevitably gonna have to retell the story. So I think it's gonna become like a standard on our show that Josh tells the ejac story.
That's how we know we're halfway
Exactly.
through. Okay,
I just think-
when we get halfway through the podcast, you gotta get the ejac story in.
It has to come up naturally.
Well, I think when you're 19 years old, you're spending more time trying to prevent the ejac from coming out at all times.
Well, that's the
I think
thing
it's
is I
just-
was dating someone at the time. I was like, I don't want to nut in 5 seconds.
Right.
And then if you're already in that state and then you wait a week, it's like a light breeze is going to do it.
Oh, it's building up.
Yeah. And then you gotta look over at a frame photo of your family and you say, "Look, Ma, no hands."
and then wipe the spooge off the picture frame.
And then
With
you
an
realize
old
you're not
t-shirt.
you're looking over and she's there on a FaceTime and you forgot.
But
And,
she's so proud of you.
It's
all
like that
just
scene in The Black Swan.
so proud. Yeah. Only my boy can eject no hands as fast as that.
So I got a question. This got away from me. This should have happened earlier. But so Coop, you joined the channel later, obviously.
Yeah.
And already had some establishment, I assume. So, like, how was that? Is that a thing for you, really? Did you feel like
I get
you
it.
were
You're calling me a leech.
I am, and it sounds like what I'm wondering though is like, did it feel like you were coming on to what was Vinny and Aaron's thing, and like or did it immediately feel like, okay, this is our whole thing? It's just the same name as before.
Well, I would say, admittedly, I was not like really big into YouTube in general. So the way we met was some mutual friends of ours. I was at a party with some mutual friends, and I needed a place to live in the dorms. And Aaron and Vinny's roommate
You were homeless.
was moving out. And
He
they were
was.
like,
He was
"Oh,
living
I
in a
think-"
bridge downtown.
He was living in a bridge.
Under
Yeah,
a bridge.
I was living at home for a semester, and then I came back, and they just basically arranged our living situation, and it honestly, I did not really know about FND films until they were like, oh, they make like sketch comedy, you should check out their videos. And then I was like, oh man, looks like they do a ton of shit. But to be honest, it kind of like organically just created this partnership that evolved into what it turned into. I had no like aspirations, I guess, of wanting to start a YouTube channel or be in a YouTube channel. I just knew I was in film school. I like to write and make funny stuff. And these guys already kind of had this platform where they were doing it, and it just almost just felt really natural, where it's like, oh my gosh, if they'll allow me to like play around. I've never done this before, but it just felt right. And we just kind of started slowly working together from there. So yeah, I don't know. It was never like a sit down established like,
Just
so
more of
would
a
it be
natural
okay if I was, I don't know. It just sort of
Yeah.
organically happened. And
Do you
there might
remember
have-
the first video that you were in that you did with them?
It was, I think
Was
it was
it
something
Parkour
where
Kids? You were in the background.
it was always, no, it was in the background. I think it was,
Because I
there
did
was a
try
video. Oh, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say I glanced through the list the other day, trying to see if I could see like which was the first one you're in. And as far as I could tell, as like more of a centerpiece, I think it was Put Downers, where you had like an actual role.
Yeah, close. I think the first one I had a role was Attic Man, actually.
Is Attic Man before Put Downers? Crazy.
I think so.
I think it is.
Yeah.
Maybe.
But anyway,
Thomas, you're
and then
fucked up, dude.
Oh God.
close, but no cigar. But before that, it was just like, I think Aaron and Vin, you guys, or at Dwight, I think I was there too. We threw like a party, and it was the video where Vinny's parents drop him off at college, and then
Oh yeah.
off to college, right? That's what it's called.
Yeah.
I was in the background.
You
or
rob
something.
a liquor store or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was in the background for that, and then there was another one where they play RAs that get very violent when there's noise ordinances, and I think I got punched in the face for that or something. So as the Hollywood trajectory goes, you do these little bit roles, and then all of a sudden you're just at the forefront. So
We really needed to test Coop's chops. We needed to put him to the grind, put his nose to the grindstone, and see if he could hack it out of the business. And
And then little did you know he would become the fan favorite and leave you guys in the dust.
that's right. And now I have my own channel, Coop Does Vids.
You
Which-
pull in 20 million views a day.
That's right.
It's on Pornhub, but it does get a lot of views.
It's Pornhub and OnlyFans, but I am doing vids.
Vinny, do you ever regret the choice of not naming your channel Vinny's Vids or Vin's Vids?
Vin's
rather?
vids. Fuck. Yeah, I do. I do now.
You blew it, you idiot.
It's far too late to change the branding too, so you're done.
Or you can really start anew here, because well, you've been keeping up on your channel lately.
Yeah, I've been trying to get that going again, and
We had that video where you cried for like however long about not getting views. I remember that one.
I did. Yeah. Thank you for reminding me.
I have a question about
Well, now I feel like I got to defend myself.
Now.
Which I do want to get in the dailies at some point, but I think one of the first dailies Thomas showed me is you guys were dancing to Ariana Grande, and then it ends with you guys dancing in front of Ariana Grande.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
How? Why?
You guys are homies, right?
Ariana's my sister.
Nice. Dude.
No.
So she does do brown face. Okay, I was wondering.
Oh gosh.
Yikes.
I'm doing white face.
Oh, okay. That's fine.
A friend. Well, I mean, Aaron and Vinny were out in L.A. This is before I knew them. Like when you guys were like 18 or 19, right?
Yeah.
And then met this guy who ended up working with Ariana Grande. So this guy who was a friend of Aaron and Vin's, who goes by Jones Crow, was Ariana Grande's videographer, photographer, all that stuff. So he kind of got us into, whenever she would come to Chicago, he would just like get us like a backstage pass and like front row tickets, and we were just like whatever, because at the time she was kind of, she was on a Disney show already and whatnot, but she wasn't like who she is today necessarily. So yeah, we wound up going to the show and filming this bit backstage where I know we were nervous. We were like, do you think she'll like be in a daily? Like, you think that'd be cool? And we like pitched her this idea of like, we're gonna be your dancers. We're gonna try out for your squad, and you're totally gonna shut us down. And she was like, how about I just say you guys are great dancers? And I was like, cool, that works too.
Yeah.
But from there, yeah, I mean, then we just posted that. And then also from that concert, we just did this little bit where we were in the front row, and our friend Jones Crow, who was filming, turned the camera to us, and we all just started like freaking the fuck out, like we were like 12-year-old schoolgirl fans.
Of course.
Just like screaming. And she wound up posting it on her Instagram, and all of a sudden we gained like 8,000 followers overnight or something. Like Perez Hilton picked it up, and like it was all over the place.
You guys have been all over traditional media then, I guess.
I guess so.
People love you.
Yeah. Perez is our biggest achievement
To date.
So does that mean did you guys shoot the stuff with her first and then retroactively shoot the lead up where you guys are like dancing on the way to the concert, or was it shot chronologically? Yeah, well, we were hoping, like, I think we were asking our friend if she would be in something, and he was kind of like, I'd probably, like, she'd probably be down, whatever. So we had like t-shirts from a concert we went to prior to that. We went to like 2 of her shows. It's funny. But yeah, 2 of her shows. One was like when she was on the rise, and the second show was like she was fucking enormous, and she had like the most Instagram followers ever, or whatever. And wow.
And that's the one I think where she was down.
I see where the story is
to
going.
shoot with us.
Your wife is frickin' Ariana Grande,
All
dude.
right,
Nice.
All right. Yes, and I let the Pete Davidson stuff happen. I let all that go because that's an image thing. That's just fame.
That's Hollywood.
Your guys' love it's deeper than that. It's deeper than the physical.
That's right.
If you're gonna get cucked by anyone, it's gonna be Pete friggin' Davidson.
I know. He's the coolest guy. Somebody, I forgot who it was. Maybe it was, I don't know if it was John Mulaney or someone, but they called him like a of today, like a young Sinatra. Like he's like our generation's young Sinatra, which is very interesting. You know?
I don't agree with that.
Well, Vinny, because your Italian roots are too deep in the Sinatra that we all know. But
Well, he doesn't croon. If he doesn't croon, he's not a young Sinatra.
That's a good point.
I do a pretty good Sinatra, actually.
boom, go.
Do it.
Shit. Didn't think you got me to do it. Hey guys, it's Frank.
Oh, okay.
Do it.
Oh,
I was
that was
talking.
really
I was
good.
talking over. Do it
Yeah,
one more
one more?
time, please.
Hey guys, it's Frank.
Boom. I'm sorry.
Do your Zoidberg.
Okay. What? A free sandwich for Zoidberg?
Nice.
That was Sinatra?
Yeah, it's Sinatra.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because I got very scared for a sec because I thought I heard a ghost.
Yeah, no, that's the thing is I'll do it and people will freak out and they'll be like, hey, we're going to see the show.
Right.
And then people are like, what the fuck was that?
Sinatra.
I also do Billy D. Williams.
Go.
Hey, how's it going there, Billy?
Again, I heard Sinatra.
Yeah, I know. It always goes back to Sinatra. That's the thing.
That's your like root, right? You know, that's your home.
I start at Sinatra and I just kind of make little tweaks from
Right.
there.
Yeah, every time you tackle a new voice.
Yeah.
It's always like, how would Sinatra do with this voice? It's
Yeah,
through
yeah,
the filter of Sinatra.
Which is very difficult to
Yeah,
do.
no, I'm not doing Sean Connery. I'm doing Sinatra doing Sean Connery.
Which is
you know?
more of an actor's
Yeah.
test than anything.
Exactly,
It just,
yeah.
that's what gives Josh his like little je ne sais quoi, his flavor, you know?
That's right.
I don't know what that means.
He's Sinatra
Me
c'est
neither.
quoi?
Oh, okay, that's pretty cool.
Whoa.
I have a kind of follow-up to that, but how did the dailies start? Because I am a big fan of those. Those are pretty great. And is
He
that...
hates your sketches.
Yeah, the sketch is awful, but the dailies, I love them.
Fair. The dailies started as, I remember the first one. It was like Aaron and I were in the kitchen and we were like just goofing around. We had this like little, what was it? It was this camera that was like a rectangle. It was like this big.
Wait, it wasn't the flip cam?
Was it a flip?
It was the flip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those were all the rage.
Oh, throwback.
Everyone was vlogging with those.
Yeah, so I don't remember why. I think I wish he was here to. I feel like he would remember. We just started doing it. That's the best explanation I can give. I don't know if we were like.
Fair enough.
Because I don't know if we were like, you know, hey, we need to post more content and like these are like because it was such a difference in what we normally do. We're like. Our whole thing was like we're gonna make sketches and we're gonna it's quality over quantity like and the dailies are not that so like I don't remember why we started doing it. I don't know what made us break from our kind of whole thing, but like we just
Were they initially supposed to be daily, or have they never been daily?
I think they were. I don't know.
I think at one
It was
point
so long
they-
ago.
Yeah, that
I
is
think
fair
they were
enough.
at one point at least like maybe there was like 3 a week or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
We have gone
Well, you guys kind of came in spurts.
100%.
with
Yeah.
Over the years, it's been like we're either really hot on it or we're just like not posting whatsoever.
And what's also
Yeah.
weird about I never really even considered them vlogging because we've never really we're kind of always like heightened versions of ourselves. Like we're definitely playing. We're turned on for the camera, really turned on. And
Nice, dude.
Nice.
so yeah, like I didn't even think of it as vlogging for a long time because to me vlogging was like, oh, you're showing like a true part of your life, and for us it's like there was always a bit at the core of it. But
I
guess,
think that's what makes it fun is that it is in itself is almost like a sketch of a vlog. if
yeah,
that
I
makes
guess
sense.
so. It's kind of a
They
parody
became-
of a vlog, but then
As
oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, as you guys like continue to do them, I think you definitely like got better at that. It got better at like having a bit and having it almost feel like it's like a sketch almost. It's like an improv
Right.
sketch. Like I know some of my favorites are ones that are like super almost narrative. Would be like the one with the horse guest who like tries to steal laptops and wants to do coke. Or like the lobster like lemon sorbet one is a classic as well for me.
Did you really not get any lobster or lemon sorbet? Were you really cut out of that?
Dude,
That
For
that
real.
was real. That was real.
Yeah,
I didn't know.
That's so.
the thing
that's
with
so
the
funny.
dailies, it was like they had to be improvised and organic. We had tried to set up premises in certain like dailies and just kind of riff off of like, all right, you're gonna do this, you're gonna do that, da 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 da, and they always just sucked. So the ones that were just
Yeah.
like we have no idea what we're doing always were the best. So that one in particular, if you guys don't know, it was just a short like improvised video of Aaron, myself, and our friend Dylan. We wound up having a huge party where we ordered lobsters and sorbet, ice cream, all these just really elegant treats. Because
You had, like,
and we had a ton of
balloons and stuff, I
balloons,
think, like-
and the
Pin
whole
the tail on the donkey.
yeah, pin the tail on the Vinny or something. Because
Oh,
it was
yeah.
like the whole point
Yeah,
was Vin's
yeah.
not here, so let's party. And our friend and Dylan, who was working with us at the time, edited the whole thing. And then when Vinny came in, like the next day, we had this whole thing edited, and we were like, guess what we did yesterday? And Vinny, of course, I'm sure you're thinking, oh, this is a bit, but we were like, we had a lobster lunch, sorbet, balloons, haha. And it's just literally organically Vinny, like
doesn't fucking believe you at all.
It never crossed my mind it was real.
But the funny...
It seemed you were the most thrown off by the lemon sorbet. Like, that was the thing you didn't believe the most.
Because it's such a specific thing.
And then, just being able... Like, just seeing on your face at one point, because we were just really playing with you and being like, yes, we did. And there's a point, I think we actually show in the editing timeline, Vinny saying something like,
you did.
No, you didn't. Prove it, or whatever. And then we're like, okay,
show me the footage.
And it's
then.
all cut and ready to go. And it just kind of worked out in our favor. So you couldn't really plan it.
Yeah. That also has one of my favorite cuts that you guys ever did, which is there's it's the footage of Vinny like freaking out, being like, show me the footage then, and then it's your face where you're like like very
like that weird like bulge effect on it.
Yeah, but then like after that there's like a very like you're like pointing and saying like show me the footage, and it pauses, and then it cuts to you guys are filming the actual screen of that same still, and then you whip pan to Vinny and you're reacting being like, oh my god, I'm so fucked.
But I gotta see the lemon sorbet. Like, you really... The lobster dinner happened, the balloons were there, but you didn't believe the lobster sorbet.
Yeah, that's also funny to me. It's like, why would they lie about that one thing?
That's much easier to get than lobster.
And those things, too, those dailies are just, like, even for us, they're just, like, those are just us, like, messing with our friend, having fun. And I'm glad that everyone can be in on it with us and just feel like we're all hanging out, because that's truly how I feel. Like, it, for nostalgia purposes, I guess, like once in a blue moon, I'll go back and watch a daily from like 8 years ago or whatever it was and just be like, oh, I remember that. That's so fucking funny, just because we were having a good time, while we were shooting it.
Yeah, I do that too. Sometimes I'm just like bored, like one will pop up, and sometimes I'll watch like 10 of them. I'm like, oh man, just like taking a little trip down memory lane.
Totally.
Weird.
I do that like yearly with my friend and I. When we made videos, we were like, how old were we? Like between the ages of like 11 to 14, we made videos over various channels, and almost once every year we end up like sitting, or even if we're like over like a Zoom call or whatever, but like watching like for like an hour, watching the videos and just being like, oh my god, remember that? Or,
yeah, man,
just going down memory lane. It's really special to have, like, because it's another thing, it's these videos are, like you said, a time capsule, not of just like the whole zeitgeist, but like a personal history.
But
so,
then you got to think,
it's pretty cool.
There are certain ones where I'm like, oh, my kids are gonna find these someday, and there are some where they're like, wow, this is so much fun, and others where they're like, why did you put a dildo in the dishwasher? Or like, what is it? And it's just like, there's some things I'm going to have to explain at some point to be like, oh my gosh, I never really thought about down the road what the things I'll have to talk about with my kids.
Well, they did a Broad City episode about that.
Did they really?
Where, so Abby Jacobson her character is wanting to date this guy that lives across from the hall, and they finally hook up, but he wants to be pegged. And then he goes to work, and she doesn't know how to clean it, so she puts it in the dishwasher, and then it gets morphed, and then he freaks out. Oh my gosh!
I thought you meant they made an episode about like that thing.
Me too.
Like about the use of technology. But no, I do remember that dildo episode.
That's super.
He was very upset.
Yeah, he was pissed because it was a custom one.
Right.
Not just an off-the-shelf one. It was like $300. I do have to say, I don't want to be the party pooper, but we're running to the hour mark, so I'm going to lightning round some stuff.
Sure.
Number one, we've talked about the state of YouTube, how it was when you guys got on. We talked about it a little bit now. Would you guys want to maybe, because I know you said you guys are writing a film, would you want to, produce that in YouTube like you did with Punching, or do more sketch comedy, or are you thinking more the traditional media route?
For that one, I mean, for the feature we're working on, that's like, it wouldn't be something we'd release on YouTube. It'd be something we're looking for funding for at the moment, and we'd want to, produce ourselves, shoot the thing, and then get it out on a streaming service. or multiple. You know. That,
Oh, so you got to throw some vampires in there.
yes, vampirates. Yeah, 100%.
Would you do a crowdfunding again, or do you feel like you've burned
Oh
that?
boy, we have talked about that a lot. We are weighing on the side of no, but it's still open. You know, I mean, we'd like to just get it funded elsewhere because the crowdfunding thing we've done and made an entire project around it.
Yeah, I
But
guess.
you know,
I don't know. I feel like I would like to see. Is it a Grundy movie? That's what I've heard through the grapevine. You don't have to say if it's under wraps. But
No, it is.
It is.
We've said it.
Yeah. So yeah,
Okay. So Grundy is one of my favorite sketches. In fact, I showed it in film school. We were asked to bring in a short film to show to in my directing class, and I brought in Grundy.
no way.
Yeah, and then also actually in grade 12, our English teacher wanted us to bring internet videos in. And funny enough, and probably just from like because it was so popular, someone else in the class brought in celery, and I was kind of pissed because I was like, you don't even watch these guys. And then I brought in the red string.
Oh, nice.
And no one liked it.
Everyone loves celery.
Everyone loves celery. They're all laughing, and then I play red string, and no one laughed. everyone hated it.
Oh shit.
And I was
That's
pissed.
so funny.
But anyway, no. But I would love to see a Grundy movie. So I don't know. Like if you guys made a crowdfunding thing, I would donate. And I'm sure many other
Appreciate
people
it.
would. Just because you did it once and made a movie about it, doesn't
Right.
mean you
Yeah,
can't.
I
Still
think
a good
we
tool.
kind of feel like we don't want to have to. Like we kind of would like to know that we can go the more traditional route. But like like Coop said, like we're leaning towards this thing, but it's not totally off the table. I think we're
Right,
far
fair
enough
enough.
away from It's All Good to where we could if we presented it the right way.
Yeah.
Awesome. And then, sorry, Thomas, you go.
No, I was just gonna say like cool.
Okay, shut up then. So my last question, and this is more for Thomas's heart, as he's a child. You guys are his childhood heroes. I'm gonna tell you a very elevator pitch for a sketch, and you guys tell me if you'd watch this.
Oh, nice.
Go.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I didn't know he was gonna do this. So
no,
let's
I
see
know.
what's-
So this guy builds a mech suit that essentially takes over all the function of stuff that he would need to do daily of his base desires, like eat or go to the washroom or cook dinner or, like take his pills. And he builds this, but then it malfunctions because the inhibitor chip on the back breaks and he just constantly starts masturbating. But it's the day that he has to go to his girlfriend's parents' house for dinner.
It's the first dinner with his girlfriend's parents.
That's great.
You're
The
asking
idea-
if we would watch
I-
that?
Yeah.
I'd love to watch that.
Yeah, I would totally watch that.
Nice. I just finished the script for that last night.
Yeah. Who would you? So when you guys are casting all this stuff, I mean, for like the parents, let's say, I mean, you're finding like
Yeah.
truly. Are you just getting off of like what we would find on like Actors Access, something you can get for $50 for people to come out and just do it, or are you relying on friends?
No, we have a lot of friends in
Okay.
improv.
Okay.
So we would just get
Yeah.
them.
Perfect.
Or my girlfriend did offer to play her own mother, because another joke in the sketch is that my girlfriend isn't at the dinner. It's just me and her parents.
oh.
So the first part, it would be a two-part. So the first part is like he shows me this mech suit, and then I leave, and I get a call, and from my cousin who lives with them, and says Thomas is just jerking off, and I'm like, how is that possible? And then we have a flashback, a la Spider-Man 2, where it's like, oh, this inhibitor chip will stop me from jerking off, but it breaks instantly as he taps.
Got it.
And then the second episode is he's at the dinner, and it starts with the parents being like, I'm so glad Phoebe's finally dating a normal boy. And it's just him sweating bullets in this mech suit, trying to stop himself from jerking
I was gonna
off.
say, yeah, you need preventative measures that just totally like fail at the right. Yeah.
yeah.
Like maybe there's like a cucumber or something, like there's another dick-like object and like he could trick the suit to jacking off that thing.
You
dude, this
you
is
beat us
crazy.
to the bit. So essentially what happens is we
Oh, okay.
send in our friend who's kind of like the wolf, who shows up as a pizza guy, and then he's like, hey guys, I got an extra large salami here for you. And then he brings the pizza inside, but he's like, oh, they forgot to cut the salami. Someone's going to have to wax it for me. And then Thomas has to jerk it off, which makes the mech suit malfunction.
Yeah, it overloads the system. And we have another flashback where I'm like, oh, I suppose I could overload the system, but then I'd rip my dick
Got
off, which is how they come up with the idea of the pizza, which just has like a 10-inch salami on it that
Right.
hasn't been cut.
Yeah.
And then I jerk it in front of my girlfriend's parents, and they're
love it. They're impressed.
Yeah, they're
They're
probably
into
like,
it. Yeah,
it's
they
finally,
think
it's
I'm
so
a-
helpful to have a man around the house, and the wife's looking at the husband like, yeah.
Well, that's
Yeah.
that's the thing is the dad offers. And he's like, oh, I've been known to wax a sausage in my day, and the pizza guy's like, oh no, you have feeble hands. How about you, young?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's good.
And then it ends with Thomas leaving's like, do you have a dowry for me? The dad says, and then Thomas gives him the mech suit. And then later he's on a call with his girlfriend. She's like, let's say my dad does know how to wax a sausage. And then we all laugh.
Right.
and
it-
freeze frame.
yeah. And it says he died later that night of dehydration.
There you go. Yeah.
The father.
So is that F&D approved?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
I mean, we would definitely watch that.
Nice. So I can put that in the video, F&D approved. Like
Oh,
a
yeah.
little
If you want to
stamp.
put
Yeah.
that on the freeze
Yeah.
frame or whatever, yeah. Go for it.
Yeah.
We can put that on Thomas's grave.
Yeah.
Because again, the suicide pact is definitely going to happen
Right. Right.
Yeah.
in the next year or so, I would say.
Well, I think we run this podcast as far as it can go, and eventually we'll run out of like cool people to talk to, and no one wants to hear just us talk.
No.
And so we'll lose it all, and then that's about a good time for a suicide.
If
pact,
you
I
want
think.
to have us back on for the Suicide Pact episode, I think we would be,
If you guys would, that'd be
Yeah,
great.
Aaron would
Yeah.
probably.
You guys would have to then upload the video, but yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well then.
Well, that's
I
what
don't
there
know,
needs to be
maybe.
some kind of Kevorkian timer with the video or something. You know.
I guess we could live
Yeah,
stream
just
it.
live stream.
Yeah, there we
Oh,
go.
yeah, there you go.
100%.
Yeah. And
Or
then,
we can hire someone off of Upwork or TaskRabbit,
Or Fiverr, I
Fiverr
guess.
to just come by our
Yeah.
place or whoever's place and don't mind the dead body on the floor.
Are you guys joining the Suicide Pact? Is that what
I thought we were already in. Are we not invited?
You are now, baby.
Oh, okay. Well, now I don't want to. Now I feel like I invited myself.
No, you were always invited. We'll all do it together. We'll have a gentle little kiss, and then some Indonesian guy from Fiverr will clean up our bodies and
Good.
upload
We'll
the
put
video.
snake
Do you think
venom
you
on our
can-
lips.
Do you think you could pay someone from Fiverr to kill you? So it's kind of like a suicide by Fiverr?
Yeah, but you'd probably need to pay more than $5.
Right.
I feel like that's murder.
That's like at least a $7 get right there.
But if you write on a piece of paper, like this,
It's not murder.
yeah, if you, how does you write a contract out? I don't know.
There's got to be
Well,
someone
would
got to
do
create
it.
some anonymous way for if you want to kill yourself, then you have a something hooked up to your computer where someone on the other side of the world who you don't know can hit the button that initiates the poison or whatever. Wait, you don't know. It's
Right.
a randomizer, whoever's liable. And then people
It's kind
I
of
know
like
that
that.
there was the case in Germany where the guy put out an ad for someone to eat him or something on Craigslist, and another guy, or like he wanted to eat someone, and he put it on Craigslist, and this guy was like, "Yeah, I want to die. Here, you can eat me."
Well, it's kind of like when a porn star does a live stream and it's like, okay, cutie, if you enter your credit card number, every time you press the control key, it'll hit this little egg in my box that'll vibrate.
That's a real thing?
Maybe.
That is a real thing.
Oh, it is? Okay, sweet.
Holy shit.
Well, don't say that like you didn't know it was a real thing. You even described the shape of the device.
You're putting me on the spot now, dude.
Listen, Josh, if you've done this, it's okay, man.
I haven't done it, but I've seen it be done live.
I love that that's a real thing. I love
You
that
put in your
we've-
credit card.
And you've
info.
lost a lot of money.
Oh, I spent a bad amount of money to watch
You
that
spent an
live.
entire Bitcoin doing that.
Ooh.
I spent like
nice.
5 Bitcoin seeing it in person.
Did you guys buy GameStop?
No.
No, but I do have Doge.
I need to get some, man. It's at 0.08 right now.
Well, on that note, I'm going to say thank you guys for being on the pod. Let's all invest in Dogecoin. If people want to find you, where do they go?
If you want to find us, you can find us at FND Films on YouTube or fndfilms.com, where you can find a bunch of our sketches, vlogs, features, all that fun stuff. And if you really want to go down the wormhole, you can check out any commercial crap that we've made, but that's not as fun.
I'm going to watch them all right after this.
Oh, good.
And
Yeah.
Coop you guys will put the link to Coop's OnlyFans somewhere where people can click on it?
We'll put it
Yeah.
with our
Oh,
wholesome
good.
OnlyFans.
Good, good,
Okay.
good, good. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, everyone else, go check them out. Subscribe to our Patreon. Subscribe to our wholesome OnlyFans. our Insta. We love you.
Like us on Tinder.
Like us on Tinder. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye-bye.